Hi everybody, Jake here for FMSCOUT, and in today's video I'm bringing you guys a lower league tactic that has done really well since the new winter update in FM21. It's a Knap Tactic and it is the best tactic we've seen so far for lower league teams. We're using a team in the lowest playable division without any additional databases or anything in England. We're in the Vanarama National South League. I believe it's a tactic that isn't too crazy. There are a few roles that aren't probably in standard tactics that people play, but other than that, the majority of it is fine, and you can see why it would suit lower league teams quite well. We're going to be testing it with a team that is expected to come like 6th and 7th, a team that's expected to be mid-table, and a team that's expected to be relegated. We're going to see how they all get on, and usually you guys will probably just skip to the league table to see how they do, but I'd say in this video there's quite a few different things that this tactic does that are really impressive, so do stick around for that. But before we get into the video, I just have to do the YouTubey stuff and ask you guys, if you do enjoy today's video or you want to see more of this kind of content, hit the like button. It really helps us out in pushing these videos out to more people, and it helps with the performance of a video too. Don't forget to comment down below what kind of tactic you'd like to see next, or let us know what kind of tactic you're in so far in FM21. And finally, if you haven't already, then smash the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our uploads. So let's run the intro and get straight into today's video. Okay everybody, so here we are with the tactic. The link to it will be in the description below. As I did mention, it's a Knap Tactic, and you guys have been asking for quite a while in the comments for a lower league tactic after the winter update, and we're bringing it here. And as I said, I don't think there's too much that's like really complicated with the positions and the roles. So you can see it's a 4-1-2-1-2 with wide players as that 2 in the middle, and we're going to go position by position to see how to set this tactic up. But again, if you just want to download the link in the description, it will be much quicker. But firstly, we're using a sweeper keeper on the defence duty who's looking to take fewer risks and ease off tackles. We then have an inverted wingback who's looking to tackle harder on the left, an inverted wingback who's looking to tackle harder on the right, and 2 ball-playing centre-backs with a pass-it shorter instruction. We then have a deep line playmaker with no additional instructions, a winger on the left who's looking to tackle harder, get further forward, shoot less often, and cross from the byline. That's exactly the same on the right hand side. We then have an attacking midfielder on the attack duty with no additional instructions. If I didn't mention already, then everyone else is on support other than the defenders and the goalkeeper who are on the defence role. Then we have 2 strikers on the advanced forward role with the attack duty. Neither of them have any additional instructions. This tactic plays with an attacking mentality, and in possession it has a fairly wide attacking width. We're looking to overlap on the left and the right, play out of defence with a slightly shorter passing directness and extremely high tempo. We're looking to work the ball into the box with low crosses and run at defence, and then in transition we're looking to counter press when we lose possession, counter when we win possession, and then distribute to the fullbacks when we can. And then we have a much higher line of engagement with a standard defensive line. We're looking to have a force opposition outside defensive width, so the minimum width really. We also have an extremely urgent pressing intensity, looking to prevent short goalkeeper distribution and get stuck in. It does come with a corner routine that I can tell you does do pretty well, so even if you just want to take the corner routine out of this tactic, that will probably do a good job for you. You can't see it behind my head, but he is looking to hit the ball into near post. Near post corners are very effective this game, and it's no real surprise that it's being used here. This is what it looks like on the right, and this is what it looks like on the left. And then we have a throwing set piece on the attack too. This is what it looks like on the right, and this is what it looks like on the left. And it's behind my head right now, but the throwing takers have been instructed to throw it long and try and get it as far into the box as possible. So now we're going to simulate a whole season, see how the tactic gets on. We are using it with Dulwich Hamlet, who are a team expected to finish in the top half of the table and maybe push for the playoff spaces. We've then got Hampton and Richmond, who are expected to finish mid-table, and then Slough, who are expected to finish rock bottom. So now all that's left to do is simulate a year ahead and see how this tactic gets on, so I'll see you there. Okay everybody, so we're a year into the future now, and this tactic has gone very, very well, very successful, probably the most successful test I've done so far on Football Manager. It's worked absolute wonders for every team we've tried it with, so let's quickly show you the league table and show you how we did. And here are the results everybody, and you can see we did fantastic. Before we go into all the little details about how it did, I'd just like to tell you guys that I do have my own channel, which will be linked in the description, where we have a save going with Lille in France. We're about to finish the first season. There's only a few episodes to see if you want to check out the first season and catch up before season 2. So the link to that will be in the description. Again, thank you to everyone who's came over onto the channel so far. We're currently very close to 1,600 subscribers, so if we can get there soon, then that would be great. But yeah, this tactic has done absolutely phenomenal. I don't think, as I have mentioned, I've seen the test do this well. 40 games played, 80 points, 87 points and 91 points for all 3 of our teams, and it's even more impressive when you see how these teams were expected to do. We can see that Hampton and Richmond, who are expected to finish mid-table, have won the league, and then Dulwich Hamlet and Slough have finished in the second and third position. So the three teams we tested it with took all three spots, and I think the Slough one's the most impressive one for me. They're expected to get relegated, so we've done absolutely fantastic with this. This would suggest that it works with pretty much every team. I didn't purposely check these teams to see if they could use the tactic well, like if they had the players for it. I basically just picked three teams that I like the names of, and we just ran with it, and it did really well for all of them. I can also tell you that our teams did pretty decently in the FA Cup, nothing special, but all of them made the first round, and then Slough made it to the second round where they were only just knocked out in penalties by Sunderland, so they did pretty well in the Cups. Yes, it could have been better. Maybe it suggests that these tactics don't work well against better teams, but who knows, it could have just been a one-off thing. But other than that, usually we can say that, oh, this team won the Champions League or this team won the FA Cup. We're not really expecting that with lower league teams, so I think this performance is very good in its own right. So now we're going to check out some of the team detailed statistics and the play statistics, and I can tell you there are some really cool little interesting things that this tactic did with all three of our teams. And I think the best thing I've found so far is the sheer amount of goals that we have scored in the league. All three of our teams miles ahead of any other competitors. The closest team that we have to any of our teams is Chelmsford, who are 16 goals off Slough. I think my maths is correct there. Probably isn't. But yeah, Slough, Dulwich Hamlet and Hampton and Richmond getting near enough 100 goals each, and Hampton and Richmond, the team that won the league, must have really suited this tactic well because they scored 114 goals, way more than Dulwich Hamlet, and again, they were predicted to finish around 17th, 16th place. So the fact that they've stormed the league so easily is just incredible. It wasn't any luck either. If we look at XG, expected goals, we can see pretty much goes the same way. It's a surprising thing that Hampton and Richmond scored way more goals than they were expected to score, and Dulwich Hamlet maybe didn't score as many as Hampton and Richmond, although they were expected to score more. Maybe it was just a case of their strikers weren't as good, who knows. We'll find out in a second when we look at the player detailed statistics and see how many goals some of our strikers got. The corner tactic also worked very nicely, scoring 10 goals plus for all of our teams, and Hampton and Richmond getting 19 goals from corners, so they are clearly very effective in the air. All of our teams completed a lot of crosses, all of our teams took a lot of penalties, and we also created the most clear-cut chances, so it's pretty clear to see here Dulwich Hamlet creating so many chances there, even way more than Slough. But yeah, it's pretty clear to see attacking-wise this tactic is really where it's at, and you can kind of tell that because mentality-wise it was an attacking tactic. The likelihood is we weren't as good defensively, but the fact that we scored so many goals in so many matches is incredible. I mean, Dulwich Hamlet creating 161 clear-cut chances in 40 matches is insane. On average, that's about 4 clear-cut chances a game, so if they'd have some better finishers up front maybe, they probably would have stormed the league way ahead of Hampton and Richmond. But yeah, let's check out how we did defensively. Defensively, this tactic wasn't great. I mean, Slough finishing in 15th place, conceding 65 goals, but the fact that they finished so high in the league goes to show that they must have, every game must have been about 4-3 or something like that. But they've done very well there. The only team that really performed well defensively was Dulwich Hamlet, only conceding 42 goals, so they probably had a pretty strong defence. But surprisingly, the team that won the league conceded the 10th most amount of goals in the league. So clearly their attack was very potent. Do bear in mind though, a lot of people will comment this. Obviously a simulation on holiday is a bit different to if you were using it in game, because obviously you're going to change things around in match and react to different situations, do shouts. I mean, even outside of the match, you're going to be signing players and finding players that fit the tactic, and we're not doing that here, of course, we're just holidaying. So really, you could probably get a better return out of this, I would say. Everything from substitute, shouts, and transfers can all affect how well this tactic does, and assuming you don't completely balls it up, you'll probably do a pretty good job with this tactic, and I'd suggest that you'd probably do way better than we did here. Like we did say, this tactic was very much focused on the attack and not so good defensively. But did any of our individual players stand out? I'm going to guess we had some of the highest goal scorers, I don't know yet. Average rating wise, the best player in the league was playing for Hampton and Richmond, Jake Gray, way ahead of anyone else there on a 7.63 average match rating. He was the right winger in our system, so he's done very well from that position, and we can see that the left winger for Dulwich Hamlet is then the second best player in the league. So clearly this tactic does rely a lot on these wingers, and it seems like they're doing a great job for their team. Another player of ours is Dion Moore. Where does he play? He plays up front, so he would have been one of the strikers for Dulwich Hamlet. The top goal scorers in the league, as you can imagine, were the strikers in our tactics. So Slough strike force of Ben Harris and Dan Roberts getting 24 goals and 27 goals respectively. Nico Moore for Hampton and Richmond getting 24. All of these guys strikers all the way so far I've checked down to Corey Henry, so 19 goals plus. So we can see the strikers are doing very well in this system and scoring a lot of goals. They are advanced forwards on the attack duty, and it seems to be working wonders for them and getting some goals out of. Not going to be mean, but this guy isn't the best striker in the world. I do understand that it is lower league, but even in lower league, I've seen players a bit better than this. So the fact that he's doing so well goes to show that this tactic is very effective in these lower divisions. We do also have a lot of players getting assists. I've had a look, the majority of these are either the wingers or the deep line playmakers in our tactical system, so it's clear that the midfielders are having a big effect on the game, and we saw that in average rating too, so looks like they're doing the majority of the work and the strikers are finishing off all the chances. Even though this tactic was really effective in terms of the attack, defensively we have got some players on the highest list of clean sheets, with a player from each of our teams filling in the top 5, someone getting 13 clean sheets, someone getting 13. These are of course our goalkeepers, and the only reason that they aren't top is because Bath seem to not concede many goals. However, they did finish about 6, so it probably suggests that they were playing some quite defensive football, not really looking to score too much, and maybe that's why they kept so many clean sheets. So I think actually looking at how well this tactic did in attack, the amount of clean sheets we got here is pretty incredible, because obviously the focus is more towards scoring goals, and that usually leaves you vulnerable, and we did see that. We didn't concede the least goals in the division or anything like that, but the amount of clean sheets we got goes to show that we did get quite a lot of shutouts across the season. So I think with that being said, we've checked everything we need to. I can wrap my words up in a million ways, but I think all you need to do is look at the table and see that this tactic did really well for us. 3 teams, all expected to finish across the board, some expected to get relegated, have gone and basically walked the league, finished first, finished second, finished third, with no real effort, no transfers made, nothing like that. So you guys can definitely take this tactic, run with it and do way better. And I'd be very excited to know if any of you guys are going to try this out. Again, the link to it is in the description, and let me know how it gets on for you. Bear in mind that a lot of people say, oh, after one game it didn't work for me. With some of these tactics, you're going to have to train it into the players. If you start it mid-season, for example, it's going to be a big shock to the system. That's why sometimes these do quite well, because we start in pre-season and it trains through then. But if you just throw it onto your team, it is going to take a few games for the results to kick in. So if you do use it, especially mid-season, do give it a chance. But yeah, with that being said, there's nothing else I really need to talk about. So don't forget to like the video if you did enjoy it. Comment down below what kind of tactic you'd like to see next. Subscribe to the channel if you do enjoy this kind of content. We do regularly look at tactics, Knap Tactics and other tactics as well, to keep you guys updated on what is working well in the match system currently. And finally, if you want to come check out my channel to see that little save that I did mention, then the link to that is in the description, and any support is appreciated. So thank you for watching, guys, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Goodbye.